This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, just how much did those gambling consultants cost the government? The Prime Minister gave the answer yesterday to the question which the opposition has been insisting on recently, adding that a breakdown of that cost will be given by the minister responsible.
To Dixon, Wilson and Co., there was a £52,073 in sterling, and to the South African firm of gaming consultants who came in and gave sustained consultancies on the massive changes to the regulations and laws, their total bill was $267,681. But the casino operators contributed $100,000 cash towards that. So with respect to the consultants who came in to deal with gaming, it was $167,681 with respect to taxpayers' money. And that's, maybe they thought there were millions being spent, maybe they thought it was some extraordinary sum of money. There isn't.
Leader of the opposition and Member of Parliament for Killarney, Dr. Hubert Minnis, in his contribution to the Airport Authority debate, recommended the government establish an Airline Essential Services Act, which will bring more order to the domestic routes and empower Bahamians.
I think the time has come when Bahamas Air must concentrate on the international routes, and the domestic must concentrate on the domestic route. But there are many routes that are unprofitable, and an Airline Essential Service Act would allow for the domestic or small Bahamian enterprises that you would have job creation, and you would empower Bahamian, and you would have growth of Bahamian enterprises. So you would, through this Essential Service Act, you would subsidize the domestic airlines.
A local surgical oncologist is recommending that men who have close female family with breast cancer undergo genetic testing. This after diagnosing 3 cases of men with breast cancer in the last 4 years. In fact, Dr. Wesley Francis says breast cancer in men tends to be more aggressive than in women.
We have men out there who are positive for the gene. Now, when breast cancer presents in a man, because the male breast is so small, it usually presents at an advanced stage. And so, if we can identify those people who are high risk, the information is not out there really as yet as to how you deal with them in terms of their risk. And in fact, that's what we were discussing this morning, is how do you deal with these men with these genes who are asymptomatic, because you can't do it the same way as women. But they tend to present at a later stage, and so the treatment is always much more aggressive.
Coming up in sports, the Bahamas preparing to host the World Relays next year.
And we'll tell you a little bit about the bond of boat building. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Charisma Robinson. Last week, the government participated in stakeholder talks to develop a strategic plan for the entry of cariform entertainers in the European market. The Bahamas was represented by Assistant Director of Culture Dorico Delaveau Grant and Financial and Trade Officer Felicia Woods. The cariform EU Economic Partnership Agreement includes a protocol on cultural cooperation between the EU and cariform member states. Dunkin' Donuts and the Bahamas Telecommunications Company rewarding its customers to another level with the recent launch of their social media Foursquare promotion. It's the first of its kind in the Bahamas and allows consumers to check in using the mobile Foursquare app at Dunkin' Donuts, Oaksfield, and BTC retail locations in New Providence. Customers must tweet photos of themselves with their Dunkin' Donuts purchase to the @BTC242 Twitter account with the hashtag BTCDD to win a prize. And in international business news, social networking site Pinterest has seen its value jump by more than 50% to $3.8 billion following its latest round of fundraising. The three-year-old company, which has yet to generate revenue, raised $225 million from a group of investors led by Fidelity Investments. The company plans to use the new funds to further expand internationally and develop its mobile services. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Charisma Robinson.